Today, we're unraveling an incident where a cop, seemingly unaware of the very laws he's sworn to uphold, oversteps his boundaries, violating the rights of an unsuspecting citizen. Picture this. It's September 16, 2022. Daniel Castillo, a First Amendment auditor, strolls into the Schenectady City Hall, New York. His mission? Simple: pick up a marriage license. As he navigates the corridors of the City Hall, he decides to exercise his First Amendment right, capturing the essence of public spaces on his camera. But things take a turn when he's abruptly and wrongfully stopped from entering a public office by security personnel, specifically Michael Wager, a City Hall peace officer. As tensions rise, Wager feels the need for backup. Soon, the scene is graced by 3 officers from the Schenectady Police Department, all converging on the City Hall. Their interactions caught on Sergeant Joseph Gada's body cam. The conversation that ensues is a mix of confusion and miscommunication. "What's the problem?" asks one officer. "He's trying to access the mayor's office," Wager responds, adding something about pending litigation and standing orders. But Castillo is persistent. "I just want to go to the clerk's office. Why am I being stopped?" Wager's response:
You can't just hang out here all day.
I'm not hanging out.
Okay.
Did you not hear just what he said?
Yeah.
He just said that I'm trying to go to the clerk's office.
But you can't go there,
Thank you.
so-
Why not?
Because he's not allowed in there, right?
Why not though?
It's pending investigation, any business conducted outside.
Is that a court order?
A vague reference to an order from the Assistant Chief of Police, Patrick Laguerre, suggesting all business should be conducted outside the security checkpoint. But here's the twist. A quick online search reveals that the city clerk's office is, in fact, a public governmental department. Its opening hours, clearly displayed for all to see on the city's official website. So, the burning question: was Castillo in the right? And what exactly is this mysterious order Wager keeps referencing? In the heart of Schenectady, New York, the City Hall stands as a testament to public service and governance. On a seemingly ordinary day, September 16, 2022, Daniel Castillo, a First Amendment auditor, had a simple task at hand: to pick up a marriage license. But as he ventured deeper into the corridors of the City Hall, he decided to capture the essence of public spaces on his camera, a right enshrined in the First Amendment. However, not everyone seemed to be on the same page. As Castillo moved with purpose, he was abruptly and wrongfully halted from entering a public office. The man responsible for this interruption, Michael Wager, a City Hall peace officer. The atmosphere grew tense, the air thick with anticipation. Wager, perhaps feeling outnumbered or out of his depth, decided to call for backup. Soon, the echoing footsteps of 3 officers from the Schenectady Police Department could be heard, converging on the City Hall. Every word, every gesture was captured in pristine detail on Sergeant Joseph Gada's body cam. The footage paints a vivid picture of a situation rife with confusion and miscommunication. "Why can't he proceed?" one officer inquired, trying to grasp the root of the issue. Wager, with a tone of authority, responded, "He's attempting to access the mayor's office." He further alluded to some pending litigation and standing orders that Castillo was apparently unaware of. But Castillo, undeterred and clear in his intent, retorted, "All I want is to visit the clerk's office. Why this blockade?" Wager's defense was a reference to an order, supposedly from the Assistant Chief of Police, Patrick Laguerre. This order, as Wager described, dictated that all official business should be conducted outside the security checkpoint. But here's where the plot thickens. A swift online investigation reveals that the city clerk's office is undeniably a public governmental department. Its operational hours and public accessibility are clearly displayed on the city's official website. So, where does this leave Castillo? Was he truly in the wrong? Or was this a case of misinformation and overreach by the security personnel? The evidence seems to tilt in Castillo's favor. The city clerk's office, as a public entity, should be accessible to citizens like Castillo. The mysterious order that Wager referenced remains shrouded in ambiguity. Was it a genuine directive or a mere ploy to exert authority? As the story unfolds, viewers are left grappling with pressing questions about public rights, the role of law enforcement, and the boundaries of authority. Castillo's simple quest to pick up a marriage license transformed into a larger narrative about transparency, accountability, and the very essence of public spaces. In a world where the lines between rights and restrictions often blur, incidents like these serve as poignant reminders. They urge us to question, to seek clarity, and to ensure that the pillars of democracy and public service remain unshaken. The corridors of Schenectady City Hall echoed with a rising tension. Castillo, determined to exercise his rights, found himself facing a barrage of questions and directives. Officer Wager, seemingly grasping at straws, made a reference to a verbal order. But in the world of law and order, verbal directives, especially those without proper documentation, often hold little weight. Sergeant Gata, attempting to mediate, asked, "Which staff member do you need to speak with?" Castillo, clearly frustrated, responded, "Are you going to assist me?" Because he isn't. Pointing towards Wager, he continued, "He claims there's an order from Assistant Chief of Police Brian Whipple. Where's the evidence? Where's the paperwork?" The atmosphere grew even more charged when Sergeant Gata admitted to being familiar with Castillo's work. "It's verbal," he said, referring to the alleged order. Castillo retorted, "Verbal? That's not legal. I was never informed. They're violating my rights." And indeed, Castillo's assertion held weight. The First Amendment, a cornerstone of American democracy, ensures that Congress cannot infringe upon the freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, and the right to petition the government. Castillo, in his role as an independent journalist, was exercising his freedom of the press. The American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, has emphasized the importance of this freedom, stating that it's crucial for a democracy where the government is held accountable by its citizens. A free media acts as a watchdog, highlighting government missteps and ensuring transparency. Yet, despite the clarity of the law, the officers seemed intent on hindering Castillo's movements. "Think about what you're saying," Castillo urged. "I have a right to conduct business here."
What? I have a right to be anywhere else I feel like conducting my business.
No, you don't.
Just like anyone else. What's the problem? The situation took a turn when Sergeant Gata, perhaps sensing he was on shaky ground, mentioned an alleged order of protection against Castillo. But instead of clarifying the situation, this only added another layer of confusion. "Is there an order of protection? Why don't you investigate?" Castillo challenged. The footage revealed a glaring issue. The officers on the scene appeared to lack a clear understanding of the laws they were supposed to uphold. Instead of facilitating Castillo's lawful activities, they seemed to be obstructing him without valid reason. The standard procedure in such situations would be straightforward. Allow Castillo to proceed to the clerk's office and record as he pleases. Yet, both Sergeant Gata and Officer Wager seemed intent on moving Castillo away from the public area. "You're restricting my movement in a public space," Castillo pointed out. "You're violating my rights." The officer's response, a vague reference to an order of protection from the past, which only muddied the waters further. As the story unfolds, it becomes evident that Castillo's simple quest has transformed into a complex web of miscommunication, misunderstanding, and potential misuse of authority. The question remains, how will this standoff at Schenectady City Hall resolve? And what does it reveal about the challenges faced by citizens seeking transparency and accountability? The atmosphere in the Schenectady City Hall grew even more charged. As Castillo stood his ground, asserting his rights, the officers seemed to be in a quandary. The mention of an order of protection, which was supposed to be a trump card, seemed to have no bearing. According to the New York State Unified Court System, an order of protection is a legal document issued by a judge outlining specific conditions of behavior. If violated, it can lead to immediate arrest, but in Castillo's case, there was no evidence of any such violation. Suddenly, a representative from the City Hall approached the officers, offering a solution. They would provide Castillo with the services he sought without requiring him to enter the clerk's office. But this gesture, instead of resolving the issue, only highlighted the core problem. Castillo's rights were being infringed upon simply because he was recording. The representative's words, "You don't need to," echoed with an underlying tone of authority.
Because you don't need to?
Why?
Further emphasizing the unnecessary restrictions placed on Castillo. Castillo, undeterred, responded, Technically, you'd be providing the service if I went in without being harassed. He continued to educate the officers about the First Amendment rights, emphasizing freedom of religion, press, and speech. I know they're not teaching you that at the academy, he remarked, but I'm here to educate and inform you.
And I know they're not teaching you that at the academy. I know that, but guess what? I'm here. I'll teach you, I'll educate you, inform you however you want.
The narrative took another twist when Sergeant Gada received a call from Chief of Police Eric Clifford. The conversation, captured on body cam, revealed a startling lack of clarity among the law enforcement officers. Chief Clifford acknowledged Castillo's right to be on City Hall property, but raised concerns about recording, citing it as a security threat. He even mentioned plans to put up signs prohibiting recording in the City Hall. The conversation between the chief and the sergeant was telling. Both seemed unsure about the legalities of recording in public spaces. I don't know what the law is for not being able to record, admitted Sergeant Gada. This admission was significant. If the officers themselves were unclear about the laws they were enforcing, how could they rightfully restrict Castillo or any other citizen? According to the Municipal Research and Service Center, the public has a broad right to film interactions with public officials in areas where there's no reasonable expectation of privacy. This includes city halls. By this standard, Chief Clifford's attempt to prevent recording seemed to be a direct violation of public rights. The climax of this ordeal came when Sergeant Gada, perhaps realizing the futility of further confrontation, handed Castillo his marriage license. But the story doesn't end there. The implications of this incident, the questions it raises about public rights, law enforcement's understanding of those rights, and the balance between security and freedom remain. As Castillo left the City Hall, license in hand, the echoes of his words and the uncertainty of the officers lingered. The lines between rights, restrictions, and responsibilities had been blurred, leaving behind a tale that urges us to reflect, question, and seek clarity in a world where the pillars of democracy are constantly tested. The atmosphere inside Schenectady City Hall grew palpably tense. Castillo, having received his marriage license, was now faced with a new directive. He was prohibited from recording inside the City Hall beyond the security entrance. This directive, relayed by Sergeant Gada, allegedly came from Chief of Police Eric Clifford, but Castillo, ever the inquisitor, pressed on. Where's the statute for that? What federal statute? What written law? He demanded. Sergeant Gada, seemingly caught off guard, struggled to provide a clear answer. It was evident that there was no concrete statute preventing Castillo from recording, especially within a public facility. But the situation escalated rapidly. As Castillo attempted to re-enter the building, Sergeant Gada physically restrained him. The body cam footage, unflinchingly honest in its portrayal, captured the moments where Castillo was pushed and prevented from moving freely. "You're touching me. Back up," Castillo exclaimed, asserting his rights. "Body cameras on, right?" he asked, to which Gada affirmed. The confrontation continued, with Castillo challenging the officer's actions. "You're a criminal with a badge," he declared, highlighting the perceived misuse of authority. The scene was a stark reminder of the challenges faced by citizens seeking transparency and accountability. Castillo's rights, enshrined in the First, Fourth, and 14th Amendments, seemed to be under direct threat. The incident, which took place in late 2022, only came to light in June 2023. The delay. Castillo's requests under the Freedom of Information Law were overdue by 9 months. It took almost a year for him to gain access to the body cam footage, a testament to the bureaucratic hurdles citizens often face in their quest for justice. As the dust settled on this tumultuous encounter, several questions remained unanswered. Why were the officers so intent on preventing Castillo from recording? Was there a genuine security concern, or was it an attempt to exert authority without basis? And most importantly, would there be any accountability for the officers' actions? The incident at Schenectady City Hall serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between authority and individual rights. It underscores the importance of vigilance, education, and the relentless pursuit of transparency. While the immediate confrontation may have ended, the broader narrative of rights, responsibilities, and the role of law enforcement in a democratic society continues to unfold. In a world where the lines between authority and individual rights are often blurred, stories like Castillo's serve as a beacon, urging us to question, to challenge, and to always seek the truth.